Welcome to the Greyhawk DJC podcast. Today's podcast, we talk with Ty Harper, the owner of Sticky Bandits and Grill Cleaner Pro. We hope you enjoy the podcast. Hey, Ty, how you doing, man?
Good, David. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
This is your first time on camera, is that correct?
It is. I don't do many of these.
All right. Welcome to the show.
Not always my cup of tea, but it's all good.
All right, awesome. So tell us about yourself. Let's get to know you first. Where are you from? You know, what you like to do?
Yeah. So name's Ty Harper. Grew up in a small town in the Panhandle of Texas called Sunray.
Okay. How many people?
1,800.
All right.
There was one stoplight. No stoplights. I'm sorry. 2 gas stations. That was about it.
How big's your high school?
We were a 1A, so graduated with 33 kids.
Nice. So you know everybody in the school, all your
Knew everybody.
from
Everybody
little
knew your
to
business.
all the, yep. Awesome.
But I would say this: I love it. I feel very blessed that got to grow up in a small town, small environment like that. So wouldn't change it for the world.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after that, so got a college scholarship to go play football at West Texas A&M.
Okay. From a 1A school, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was. A little bit of a wild child though, and had a few things going on, and I just quit pretty early. Something I kind of regretted, but you know, it is what it is. From there, I went a year there, and then transferred to University of North Texas. Went to school there, graduated in, it'd be in 2008.
Okay.
Met Christina, my wife, in 2009 at Chili Fest at Texas A&M.
All right.
About 6 months later, we had a house, we were married, and had a kid. So, well, not 6, about 9 months later.
Wow, that's a fast relationship.
Went fast, man.
Right.
It's been a blessing.
What are you doing in College Station for Chili Fest?
Drink a lot of beer.
Okay.
And eat chili, I guess. It's an awesome festival. They have live music and a bunch of Texas country bands that we love.
So it's just a chance meeting.
It's just a big college party.
Okay.
Is all it is.
All right.
So yep. But yeah, now we live in Salina, Texas. Got three awesome kids. Been married 15 years now.
Okay.
And we both own businesses.
Let's talk about the businesses. So
absolutely.
After North Texas, what are you doing for a living and stuff?
So when I left West Texas A&M, I went to North Texas because they had kind of looked at us for football too, and the plan was to walk on there.
Okay.
In between that, got into actually lifting weights and working out, lost a bunch of weight, and kind of followed that route for a while. I was in the fitness industry. Wouldn't know it looking at me now, but yeah.
So you're a trainer?
Yeah, I started as a trainer, and then after I graduated, I went to work at Capital One. It was a corporate fitness job.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, so they have gyms inside their fitness centers, like full blown gyms. Like they have everything from rec sports. We did. Personal training, basketball leagues, like stuff like that. So really awesome for the employees there. Worked my way up from there into a regional role. So I was actually, towards the end of my career there, I was working out of the house, managing teams up in Washington, D.C. area, Richmond, Virginia, all that kind of Northeast. So there's 6 sites under me. Great people, worked with some awesome people. I enjoyed the job. Just kind of in the back of my mind the entire time, I was always thinking like, okay, like I want to open my own business. You know, ever since I started working there, you know, ever since I got into the workforce, I always kind of had in the back of my mind that, you know, I want to do something on my own.
Okay. Didn't
know what it was. 2020 got laid off because COVID. They pretty much laid the whole the whole section of our fitness side off.
Right. People can't get together. Right.
Wasn't a priority.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
People weren't coming to the building, so obviously there was no need for us at that point. Which for me it was a blessing in disguise. Like I said, I was kind of getting a little burnt out. I'd been there for 11 years. I was kind of ready to change industries, look at other things, and like I said, I want to start my own business, so it pushed me to do that.
Okay. So how did Sticky Bandits start then?
Yeah, so through the process, I kind of took a little bit of time after we got laid off. It was October 20, I think.
Okay.
When they finally let us go.
Before you start, tell us what Sticky Bandits is, just for people.
Yeah, so it's a barbecue grill cleaning and repair company.
Okay.
So, yep. But yeah, so once I got laid off, kind of took my time. It was, let's see, October, and then in between then I was kind of looking at different things, like, all right, what can I do? You know, as always, anyone that's in that position, you're spinning 55 different things off your mind. Eventually, a buddy of mine, he'd kind of had this idea to, you know, we were going to start a company together at the time, cleaning like commercial kitchens, a gum removal, like all these various things with what they call a steam cleaner.
Okay.
So it was this machine. If you look them up online, it was kind of like, you know, you could clean grout with it. You could do this, you could do that. So that's what we kind of came up with, the Sticky Bandits at that point, you know, the Sticky Bandits cleaning solutions. All in all, though, we ended up getting the machine in. And I will say this, some people use these machines for cleaning barbecues as well, but we just didn't, me personally, I didn't like it.
Okay.
So
was it the work or the situation?
No, just we didn't feel like it was kind of oversold, and you know, and all their infomercials that looked like it would just knock grease right off of things, and you know, it just, you know, and like gum removal out of like, say, like a stadium, or you know, something that a pressure washer left by. It didn't seem to do the job that we wanted. So we kind of decided to, hey, let's nix this. But in the midst of that, I was kind of looking at, hey, what all can this thing do? And grill cleaning came up, and I thought it was like a light bulb. Kind of, it was like, man, that's a good idea. You know, I've never heard of that. Everyone's got a barbecue grill.
Did you know anything about the industry at the time?
Nothing.
Okay.
So, which I'm pretty good about when I want to go after something, like, you know, I started really researching it. So,
Right.
we're scouring the internet trying to figure out anything and everything about barbecue grill cleaning. So yeah, that's kind of where I came up with it. And I just rolled with the name. I thought, hey, Sticky Bandits, you know, it's a dirty job, grill cleaning, and you know, it kind of fits the name.
Okay.
Kind of like in Texas, you know, like you have like big barbecue festivals where, you know, they have teams and stuff, and they always kind of have a fun, unique name. So it kind of flows with that barbecue crowd as well.
Sure. What did it take you to start? What did you have to do? How much money? What did you have to get? You know.
Yeah. So in the middle of this, you know, I'm looking at various ways to do grill cleaning. So one was a steam cleaner. You know, you can just go in there by hand and whatever tools you have. Another one is that there's a company that actually kind of really started this, the barbecue cleaner, and they use a soak tank.
Okay.
So what you do is you take all the a lot of the internal parts. So you're going to take like the grates, the warming racks. You know, for people that aren't familiar, they call them like heat shields and flavorizer bars. So all this stuff inside the grill, and you're going to soak it in the soak tank. And it kind of helps. What it does, it's a heated solution. It really helps break up some of that stuff, so it's just easier to clean. Okay. So I kind of decided to go that route. So I started looking in that, like, hey, that soak tank's pretty cool. But when I got to looking into it, all I could really find was ones that ran off propane. You had to pull with the trailer.
Right.
Okay. And for some reason, I just thought, man, I would like to be more compact. I don't really want to have to pull the trailer. I don't want to have to use my personal vehicle. And I don't really like the idea of mounting propane with an open flame inside my van. So that was probably the biggest piece. So that's what took me the most time. You know, it's 2020. Not a whole lot of manufacturers want to take on, you know, some type of job like that. So I called and called and called until I finally found someone that would build me my first soak tank that was ran off of electricity. A lot of growing pains there. Yep. We didn't really know what, and neither one of us really knew what we were doing.
Is this something you plug into like a socket, or
it is like so you can plug it into your regular 15, 20 amp outlet. Actually, 20 amp we recommend because it runs right below 1500 watts. You're at about 1400 watts. So
you set it up and you plug it into your client's wall or something?
So we actually plug it in at the house.
Okay.
Or at your shop or wherever. So we'll plug it in before we leave for the day. So we set it on a timer. Kicks off around 3 a.m. in the morning. Time you get up to leave at 7, the thing's piping hot, and it'll stay hot the rest of the day.
I see.
So, yeah.
And then you just take apart the grill and soak it and.
Okay. Like I said, it's a tool. To me, it's an irreplaceable tool. But yeah, it's a tool that we use in order to really help break a lot of that stuff off and really give us, it saves you so much time and effort.
So it's just one part of the cleaning process.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was the biggest part, is trying to figure that. And then, of course, then I had to go out and source a van. And again, you got to remember it's 2020, 2021. So just sourcing anything was a pain in the butt.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean? Yeah. And then it was just the learning curve, figuring out what all tools I need. And I will say this, it's like, once you understand what you actually need, it's not a very expensive startup. But if you're going to do it on your own and just run through trial and error, it can get very expensive.
Right.
Because, as anything, you're constantly learning and changing and learning and changing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
How long do you think that took you, and what was your investment, you think?
I started in July of, we launched July of 21. So, I kind of really started focusing on it probably around October, November of the year prior. No, I'll take that back, because we were kind of looking at the thing. It'd been about January. So it took me about 5 months to really just figure all this out and just go for it. As far as initial investment, I was when all was said and done, I was between 40 and 50,000.
Okay, and that's with you with no guidance, right? It's just you on your own.
Yeah, we were with no guidance, and it was, like I said, it was just a lot of trial and error.
Right.
Like,
what kept you going this whole time? Like,
I mean, I'm kind of one of them. Once I commit, I'm gonna go for it. Especially like, at that point, you've already invested some money and the effort, and like, hey, I want to see it through. So,
right.
And to be honest, like, that's really not a big investment anymore in today's society. I mean, you can't even go out and buy a new pickup truck for that. So,
sure.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of money. It's, you lose a lot of sleep over it, because, I'm not trying to say it wasn't a lot of money, but, in today's society, as we know, like, to start a business, like, it's going to take a little investment. So,
right. Are there any state regulations on this, or do you have to get certified or something?
No, there's no certifications now. The only thing you want to be kind of cautious of is you are dealing with natural gas and propane appliances. So if you can't legally, like, you can't go in there and start messing with, like, the gas lines and stuff from the house, right? So no, I mean, we when we do repairs and stuff, we make sure that we just stay from, where the grill connects on up, so the actual grill itself.
Okay.
And yeah,
All right.
Obviously, though, there's, even though there's not regulations, there's you want to know what you're doing, you want to be knowledgeable, and you want to make sure you're safe. So.
Right. So you got all this investment, you're ready to go. What's that first launch like? How you feeling?
So nervous. I will say this, though, like, thankfully, and I'm really glad I did it this way because of how I started. Like, I didn't really go through, like, pay anyone to really help me launch this thing, or, show me the ropes. So I told myself, like, hey, I'm going to start this thing a little slow. I'm not going to just go out there and pour thousands of dollars into marketing, because I want to be able to, learn as I grow the business.
Right.
So that 21, I took it pretty slow. Business was still, it would funnel in some.
How are they finding you?
The only thing I did was word of mouth, and like, we may do a little bit of, like, Facebook posting and local business pages, like the free ones, not paid for anything. And it was, like I said, that's kind of how I wanted to grow it, because I needed to learn it. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to be just over flooded with business, and just it would have been too much. So it was good. So
what was your first customer like? How'd you get that person?
It was actually Facebook.
Okay.
Yep.
You just posted something and they replied to you?
Yeah, I think my wife or I posted in one of those, like I said, the pages, and said, hey, we're offering grill cleaning, and that's how we got the first one.
What would that make you feel like?
Feels awesome. Whenever you take something and you do it on your own, you've always dreamed about having your own business, and it finally kind of comes fruition. It's a very cool feeling. At the same time, it's kind of scary because you're like, oh crap, now it's
it's real. Right?
Now it's real. now I got to go service this customer and act like I know what's going on.
Do you remember what happened that first time? Were you extra nervous or how was it?
Yeah, I do remember. I believe they had some burners too that were locked in on the bottom, and at the time I was like, I don't know what the hell. I don't even know how to get these out of here. So you figure it out and you just wing it. And that's one of the things is the beauty of the day and age we live in is you got YouTube and you got resources now. Not everything's out there, but you just work through those situations, and that's like any business. Like it's a learning curve, and
yep. And it was just you at this time, right?
Just me,
one man show. Yep. Okay, all right.
Yep.
How long did it take before you got really comfortable? You had a steady stream of customers.
So that next year, so I started in July, and like I said, I just kind of slow rolled it through December. And then I felt comfortable, like, okay, I can start advertising this a little bit. So it really started to grow the next year. Still just me. I didn't really want to hire anyone. I wanted to keep learning the business and make sure, like, because I just want to make sure I'm very knowledgeable, okay. Because you see so many different brands of grills. Like, it's not like we're just working on Weber's over here or Lynx or whatever. You're going to see a huge variety, so I wanted to make sure I got plenty under my belt. So,
right.
But that year went really well, and then really the next year, I guess that would have been 2023. So January and February is always kind of our slower months, and then we went on spring break. We were in Florida, and my phone was just blowing up. Like, it was hard to enjoy spring break because I was just getting call after call after call. And I told my wife, I was like, crap, I got to hire somebody. So
right.
I was actually laying in the hotel room, put out an ad. Actually, it ended up being a guy, a buddy of mine, that he responded. And when I got back, we were rolling 2, and then it took off from there.
How many team members do you have now?
We keep it at 2. So okay. I do most of the repairs myself, kind of by choice, because it's kind of an excuse for me to go out in the field and I enjoy it. Kind of breaks up the monotony of behind the desk.
I saw some pictures. There seemed to be other folks besides you kind of helping clean the grills.
So I have 2 guys that do the cleanings right now. And I'll be honest with you, I could probably grow a little more. But you and I were talking earlier, my wife, she owns a business, me own a business, 3 kids in school, sports, kind of at what I call my happy place right now. So
yeah.
Kind of, we're good right now, and I may look at buying another van and expanding in the future, but yeah.
No, that's awesome because you built this from nothing.
Yep.
And you're at a comfortable place. I mean, I think that's every business owner's dream, right? So
Yeah.
All right. Any funny stories about clients or servicing them? Or
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I will say this, like I tell my kids this. I said, man, if you go out and provide pretty good customer service, like, people will pay for anything, because people just, I'm not saying everyone, but there's a lot of people out there that just don't want to touch anything. I wouldn't believe like how many people we go up and there's a lot of them that don't even know they have a drip pan under the grill, and you pull it out and they go, oh man, what's that? I'm like, well, that's, all your grease and stuff doesn't just,
disappear
in thin air. Like, it's got to go somewhere. So, yeah, I mean, we get a lot of those. I mean, and you get some, I mean, like I said, it can be a dirty job at times. Like, I've opened up a grill before and saw 4 rats looking at me.
Oh, wow.
I mean? So
okay, so you got to worry about that. Nature.
Not right? Necessarily. Yeah. It's part of the business, outdoor appliance. Like,
yep.
But yeah, I mean, there's quite a few. Just a lot of customers that just are very unfamiliar. I had one guy. He said he didn't want to touch his burner. He said, "Oh no, I don't want to mess with it. You change it out because it's gas." So that's fine. I'm sitting there looking at his burner, and the thing's like just broke up in the air. It's got huge cracks in it. I'm like thinking to myself, like, you got way more of a chance of blowing up. You've been using this thing. Like I wouldn't be scared to change that burner out at all. You know what I mean? Like I'd be more scared of using this thing. You're about to blow yourself up. But,
Did you? I mean, what did he say when you said that? Or
well, yeah, I explained it to him, but I mean, it's just, I mean, kind of one ear out there on some people. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, nothing like crazy stands out off the I'm sure I'll think of something later, but yeah, you just get a lot of people that, and maybe it's because they weren't, you know, whoever installed it didn't teach them anything or whatnot, but yeah, you know, it's a lot of people that don't really understand their.
Well, that's good for you because that's what you do, right? So, all right, so. Now that you're comfortable, you came up with another idea. You're like a serial entrepreneur here, right?
I don't know about serial entrepreneur.
But you started another business off of this one.
Yep.
So tell us about that one.
So it's called Grill Cleaner Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing the logo right now.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of what it stemmed off of is, you know, I felt like with Sticky Bandits Grill Cleaning, you know, it's something I really grew and I was really a part of and really got to understand what it takes to run this type of business. And, you know, as I kind of mentioned earlier, like it was a lot of trial and error for me. So through that trial and error, though, you know, you grow in learning, hey, this really works. I'd stay away from this. Or
right. You're like an expert kind of.
Yeah. At least in my mind. But yeah, so you know, and that was always kind of my next goal with this. I thought, you know, I've seen a few companies do this, kind of like franchise their business per se. And, you know, I just took all that knowledge that I learned and, you know, I finally felt comfortable within this last year to really start piecing it together. And, you know, you built me an awesome website. And so now it's kind of coming to fruition. I just got a couple things to finalize and then we'll officially launch. You know, I mean, I could technically get someone started now. But
tell us what Grill Cleaner Pro does, though. Actually,
so it's actually it's basically taking all what I've learned and just and giving you like a business opportunity to go out and start your own grill cleaning business. Oh,
but with all the knowledge you have,
yeah.
So they don't have to go through that whole trial and error.
They don't have to go through the whole trial and error. Right. So we're gonna provide the soak tank. So that soak tank I alluded to, it's an awesome tank. It's big old 304 stainless steel, double walled. It's just a lot of things we put in that, like easy drain lines. You know, it can fit up to a 36-inch grill grate, which is very important. Just big old heavy duty. I mean, I think it weighs about 215 pounds, and you know, it's something that is electric, so people can take that. They can mount it in a van, they can mount it in a trailer, they can mount it in a truck. So to me, it really just, that's the benefit of Grill Cleaner Pro. Like, you're going to get this soak tank that you can go out and you can build your business your way. We're going to provide everything else. So we're going to provide the soak tank, we're going to provide all the tools. And I'm not just saying like, hey, we're going to provide you a few towels, this or that. I mean, we provide an extensive list of over 30 tools. So that way, really, once you come, you know, on site, you come train with us for a couple of days, you're going to walk away ready to go start your own business immediately.
I see.
Yep.
I see.
And, you know, and with that, you know, we're also working on maybe a couple of how-to videos, Facebook advertising how-tos. And I'll be the first to tell anyone I'm not a genius in Facebook advertising, but that's what we use for Sticky Bandits, and it worked out tremendously, especially I think for a niche business. You reach a bunch of different customers that way.
Right.
You know, to me, I've tried a bunch of different avenues. It was the biggest bang for my dollar by far. So, you know, that's something that we're going to include is teaching people how to do that. Again, I'm not saying I'm an expert in it, but it's going to get you off the ground rolling and, you know, get you in front of faces in your community to start making money.
I see. And so when they get the soak tank, do you have the manufacturer in place already?
So everything's lined out. So we source a very eco-friendly green cleaner for the soak tank. And if you purchase through us, you know, you purchase a business opportunity. What it would include is you would come train on site, and then we would ship all the materials out to you, you know, the soak tank, all the supplies, and the soak tank detergent. And one thing about us, there's some competitors out there that I know they make you buy it on a monthly basis.
You have to pay monthly for this?
For the detergent.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But ours, it comes in a huge pail that will pretty much last you the entire year.
Okay.
So when I first started the company, I bought one pail, and it lasted me almost 2 years, because like I said, that first year was kind of slow.
Right,
so,
right. And then do you do any like continuing contacts with them once they start?
So it's a complete, once you purchase it, and I got to retract back, there's no royalty fees. There's nothing like that. Like, you own your business, you go build your brand, your website. Like, once you pay the set fee, you come train with us, we get you set up.
Okay, so one-time fee then. That's it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a one-time fee. So it's not like we're trying to take money from you for the next 5 years. So but yeah. And then as far as you said support, yeah, absolutely. So we'll provide unlimited ongoing support. With that, like I said, I'm pretty knowledgeable now in repairs as well. I want to make it clear, we're training you in the cleaning side, but if someone wants to take on some repairs and they get out there in the field and it's like, man, I don't know what I need to do here, I'm going to support them. If they call me, I'm going to support them. So,
right. Yeah. And then are you helping them with pricing? How to?
No, I don't really want to get in that, because once you start getting into that and making claims about, hey, you can make this much money, or hey, here's how you should price it, then you're basically a franchise.
Right.
And, I don't.
You want to let them do what they want to do.
I want them to do what they want to do. I think people will be happier that way. And so they can really set their price. And plus, it's hard for me to gauge, because my pricing in DFW is going to be, way different if someone buys one up in North Dakota.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you kind of really gotta know your market. And again, there's some trial and error in that. My pricing has changed. That's part of owning a business.
So you're just offering a one-stop shop to start your own company with all the tools and knowledge.
Yep. The only thing we don't furnish is the van or the trailer or the truck. And like I said, like, we kind of took a step back and said, I don't want to furnish that, not because we couldn't, because it's whenever you start doing that, you're basically putting people in a bubble of like, hey, you have to do it this way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think everyone should have a choice of like, hey, maybe going out and buying a $4,000 enclosed trailer is a better startup for me, but eventually I want to do a van. Or someone says, no, I just want to buy a van and have this thing in there and go.
So the really cool part that I'm seeing is you're just alleviating all the heartache and trial and error.
Exactly.
But then letting them act as their own business owner afterwards.
Yeah, we're taking that learning curve away. We're taking a learning curve and giving you the materials you need. So like I said, that's why it took me kind of 6 months to really feel comfortable I'm going to start advertising my business. Because I was still figuring things out for 6 months.
Right.
And you're still spending money here. Oh, no, this doesn't work. Oh, I should buy this. You just alleviate that. It's, hey, this works. I'm not saying you won't ever change anything, because it's your own business. You may find something that you feel works better or whatnot, but this is going to get you off the ground running immediately and, give you an opportunity to go out and make money.
Awesome. Yeah. So when are you going to fully launch this? What do you think?
I just got to do a couple how-to videos. You and I were talking about it.
Okay.
So I've, like I said, I've been really busy with Sticky Bandits, and it'll be this fall. But like I said, if someone wants to get started today, by all means, all the legal jargon's in place. We can get the soak tank. We can get the materials. So, by all means, they could come down and train. We could get them rolling. And then because we're not completely officially launched, there'd be a little bit of a discount there. And but 100%, we could get someone rolling tomorrow.
So they could do a soft launch right now.
100%. Like I said, the videos are just more like a few how-to videos.
Yep.
You're going to learn that in the training. It's more just like, a little bit of additional support, like if there's something you forget or something. But
sure.
Again, you have my phone number. If you decide to move forward in the business, call me anytime, and
absolutely,
we'll make sure we get you taken care of.
All right. Well, man, good luck with all this. This sounds awesome. Yeah. So we'll end like this. Your tips and advice on anyone who wants to start their own business.
just go for it. So, I mean, like I said, it's something that I thought about for a lot of years. Like, it was always like, oh, I really want to do this. Can't say enough good things about it. I mean, like, it's hard, it's stressful, but it's very rewarding. It's just a very rewarding experience. The thing that I love about it, and the thing that's drove me more than money or anything like that, it's time. You know, you get to pick and choose your own schedule. Not saying that, you know, there's still some, you know, things here or there, but I mean, if I want to go on a vacation, I can go on a vacation. I don't have to go put in a PTO request.
Right.
You know, if I need to pick up my kids from school, well, I just rearrange my schedule that day to make sure I pick up my kids from school. You can't buy time. So to me, like that was probably one of the biggest things for me, the biggest drivers, and you know, yeah. And I mean, just the fact of, you know, another thing is, when I was in corporate America, and listen, I worked with a bunch of great people, but there was a lot of wasted time in your day. You know, there's a lot of meetings on top of meetings, this and that. And what I love about working for myself is everything I do has a purpose. You know, everything I do is going straight back to my business. So, you know, if you're kind of on the fence and you're someone that's looking to start your own business, I would say go for it, you know, and with the caveat of, and I've talked to I've had a few people reach out about Grow Cleaner Pro, and I will say, though, just make sure, though, that it is the good time for you, you know, like also looking back at, you know, that time I was looking to start my company. At that time, my kids were young, you know, we were working off my benefits, you know, and, you know, I had more of the stable benefits, the medical, dental, and all that. It wasn't the right time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think just be honest with yourself. You know, if it's something that you've always wanted to do and you feel like you're in that position at that time to do it, by all means, go for it. You know, it's one of the most rewarding things you can do.
All right. That's a great way to end.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.